Hi everybody! We've got 6 reading options in today's pick a card reading, and we're going to be asking, what is that sign or symbol trying to tell you? So maybe you've been seeing some repeating numbers and you're not sure what the message is. Maybe you've been having dreams with the same, imagery or symbolism repeating. Or you just feel in general that your intuition is trying to get your attention about something and you're just not really sure what the message is. So in some way or other, you're receiving signs, symbols, omens, messages, dreams, some sort of intuitive nudge, and you're just not quite sure what to make of it. And if you haven't been experiencing any of that, that doesn't mean that there's not still a message here for you. So if you feel intuitively drawn to one of these piles, then, select that pile, or in some cases, maybe you're drawn to more than one. In some cases, maybe your intuition is telling you that there's not really a message here in this reading for you. And if so, that is fine as well. There's not necessarily going to be a strongly resonating message for you in every pick a card reading that you watch. But in those moments when there are, and when it's really strong, those are always really wonderful moments of where Spirit is really finding a way to connect with you. All right, so we have 6 options here, as you can see. I'll read out the name of the stones for you, and I don't remember what they are myself. This is aragonite, number 1. We have bloodstone is number 2. Shungite is number 3. My cat's trying to make an appearance here. Diamond is number 4. Garnet is number 5. And citrine is number 6. All right, and just use those timestamps below, and I'll see you at your message. Okay, welcome for everybody who chose reading number 1, which was the aragonite, and it says find your center. So you could be feeling a little bit off balance, or the message that's coming through to you is trying to help you to balance out your life in some way. So let's see what we've got. I feel like the message that are coming through are mostly just trying to help trying to support you to kind of like enjoy life, just kind of relax and feel the blessings of your life. Yeah, so maybe you have been feeling, here we have balance as well. So definitely your message, the message that keeps coming through to you, is to sort of like see the beauty and the comfort in the life that you do have. See what's already there. I feel like, you might just need to chill out and relax a little bit more, Allow yourself to do things which are maybe a little bit indulgent with the resources and the time that you have available to you right now. So just take advantage of what life is offering. And your guides are also just trying to tell you that they are there. They want to say, hey, I'm giving you strength. I'm giving you support in order to come to this greater balance. With this strength card as well, I feel like, there's a lot of shadow energy here. So you guys might be struggling a little bit with confronting your shadow or doing some shadow work, which basically means that your focus right now might be drawn to your shadow, which is just those parts of yourself that you don't like. Anything about yourself that you don't like how it represents you, you don't want it to be true about you, but it is. And so doing shadow work is about coming to love and accept those shadow elements. We can stand out in the sunshine. We're still going to leave a shadow. The shadow is there. It's just a part of us. The shadow itself is also trying to help support you and understanding that you are beloved and lovable. And this card, which says beloved, it says prepare for your life partner. Romance is returning to your relationship. Believe you are lovable. So the reason you're going through this period of finding your balance in life, enjoying yourself, loving yourself, even though there are shadow elements, and just accepting that that's part of who you are, the more you can do that, the more you draw in the type of love that is really enriching and supportive. Yeah, love and let yourself be loved. So you're working through your shadow to become more balanced, because when we disown our shadow, that's a whole part of ourselves that we are rejecting. You're rejecting yourself as unlovable, aspects of yourself as unlovable. That's creating an imbalance, and that's an imbalance that we all have to struggle with. So it's really about self-love. When whatever this is, whatever sign or symbol, repeating number, or whatever it is that you're experiencing right now, it's telling you to get more in touch with loving yourself, even the more difficult aspects of yourself. And I just want to read this as well. It says, life is art. I see my entire life as a work of art, and I choose to be the artist creating it. Rather than sit around as a passive audience member, I pick up a pen and write my own story. That means every day is an act of creation, as I constantly strive to be the sort of hero who fearlessly follows their bliss, curates beautiful, non-toxic relationships, and almost always resists having a donut. So I feel like the almost always is important here too. It's like, allow yourself to have those moments of indulgences, but maybe not to the point that puts you off balance as well. Life can't always be cake and wine, right? But there are times whatever your personal indulgences are that really make you see how beautiful life is, there are moments to partake in that, and just know that you're blessed enough to be given the opportunity to relax and chill a little bit. All right, so we also have air element from my fairy deck, and Kunter Yachak, blessings from the son of Hannah Pacha. This is from the Earth Warriors Oracle. So this fairy card is literally about the wind and the air and connecting to the air element. So if it happens to be a windy day, get outside and be in the wind, or even listen to sounds of wind. I don't know, lately it's calming to me to listen to snowstorms. On YouTube, there are videos of snowstorms, and there's the blustery wind, But the chant says, "O ever-powerful wind, embrace me in your roiling midst. Whisper the ancient words of magic in my ears, that I may harness your strength and power. In your billowing arms you bring me my good, so be it." And then it says, make a pinwheel today, which if you know how to do that, I'm sure there are tutorials online you could, if you wanted. That sounds like a fun DIY project. But I think really what it's saying is, like when you connect more to the flow of nature, because air currents flow like water, it's similar, the currents of air. When you get into that flow of nature, then you'll start hearing these messages more easily, because these messages, this loving, supportive guidance is always available to you. So I think that they want you to be more in touch and in tune with nature in order to be open more to life-affirming guidance and support. And then this card from the Earth Warriors Oracle, it talks as well. I'm just going to read this opening message. I might end up reading quite a bit of this because I feel like it's really helpful. But it says, Condor swiftly brings the will of great spirit to earth through the gift of powerful medicine. Despite great odds, even in the face of what may appear to be an inevitable defeat, extraordinary triumph is at hand. This is the prophecy of resurrection, of the rising up of what was thought to be lost. It shall happen with unexpected and surprising swiftness. Your divine destiny is now held in the guiding hand of a great spiritual master. And if you go through this even more, it talks more about Christ consciousness. Let's see. It talks about the condor bird being symbolic of Christ consciousness. It says it is an offer of absolute protection that is strong enough to sustain your purity, integrity, and effectiveness as you navigate the challenges inherent in the earthly world of Puma, known as K-Pacha, and the much-needed protection over the unconscious world of Snake, known as Uku-Pacha. This protection ensures that your passionate purpose is not distorted or derailed by unconscious forces. As you accept this blessing, you shall know only protection, empowerment, and grace as you manifest the spirit medicine of Condor, helping to bring hope, conscious and creative collaboration, dynamic, sacred activism, and miraculous restoration to the earth through her evolving human family. And yeah, so I feel like there are notes of like recognizing that the shadow aspect of life is a part of what we experience here. And we don't want to be unconscious of the shadow. So if you've been bothered by your shadow because it's forcing you to face it right now, again, this is a message of strength and support. You want to be conscious of the shadow. The more conscious you are of all aspects of yourself, including the shadow, the more you can walk in purity, integrity, and effectiveness as you navigate this earthly world. To be the most in touch with your own highest good, which also means being in touch with the highest good of all. If each of us is in touch with our individual highest good, that is part of the collective highest good. And so part of that process is working with the shadow. So I feel like that is the message for you guys who chose number 1. I hope that it really helped in some way. And I want to thank you so much for watching. I'll see you later. Bye-bye. Welcome to everybody who chose reading number 2, which was the Bloodstone. And it says, power up your vitals. It says when to use it. When you're totally bled dry. There's a really loud engine going past. When you're totally bled dry and it's time to get into your body and start feeling your damn self. Sleep, get some exercise, take nourishment, and call on Bloodstone to drag your ASS out of the house to face the day chin up, head high. Well, I today went out of the house for the first day in 5 days, not leaving the house. So I can relate to that. And so maybe a lot of you can as well, or you're just feeling sort of lethargic, or there's something with your physical body that just feels off or run down. So the signs and symbols you've been receiving have to do with energy healing. Your natural energy healing abilities are an important part of your life purpose. So you're feeling low and down, and you're kind of being asked and encouraged to get in touch with your own self-healing abilities. We have proliferation, direction, guardian, choose your path. You might be feeling a little bit lost right now. Meditation for creativity, goddess. We have a lot going on here. Past lives. Okay. I'll look at these last 2 here in a moment. So yeah, part of it is that. Just getting back in touch with your own feeling of being vitalized and alive. This proliferation card, it says, I put quality control on hiatus and welcome prolific quantity with untamed delight. That means you're not so worried about being perfect right now. You're just focusing on trying to make something happen in your life. And for this creativity card, it might be like, just make art right now. That might be a good way to heal yourself, or some sort of self-expression. And don't really worry about any need for it to be perfect. Don't worry about even like showing it to anyone. It's just about you getting more in touch with, your orange chakra, but also your red, orange, and yellow chakras. Those are all very highly engaged when you're creating. Those are the colors of fire. You're the creator. And when a person creates fire, you're not really creating the fire, but you're giving the fire the right circumstances to appear. And this is, you're allowing your soul to shine. You're allowing the light of love to shine through you. So it's like, just create right now. Just do something. If you're feeling unmotivated and low on energy, just do what feels the most enjoyable to you right now. Just focus on that. Don't focus on being perfect. It says quality's cool at some parties, but not when it invites its friend paralyzing scrutiny, aka perfectionism. So for now, I'll let my ideas proliferate like grass, and rather than agonize over every tiny blade, I'll let the whole darn field spring up. Once we're having a picnic, nobody's gonna care what those blades are up to anyway. So try to enjoy life. Do things that are delightful and enjoyable right now. And I think that will help to shift your energy up more. And also it's saying, you might be stuck because you feel like you have to take one path or some other path. This card as well talks about you can take many paths, plant as many seeds as you want right now. Don't worry about any of them having to be the perfect path, because what you're going to end up is with a whole darn field that's sprung up, right? So just do. If it feels good, if it feels like a wonderful expression of your highest truth, or even close to that, because again, we're not going for perfect, but if it feels right to express, do it. If it feels loving, if it feels like you're loving yourself, then do that. Express yourself. And we have Goddess. Honor your divine feminine energy. See your inner beauty. Love every part of you. That was kind of a message that we got in reading number 1 as well. But but even like maybe you feel bad sometimes about the fact that you are lethargic, or that there's something going on with your physical health, or even your mind, body, spirit health. Some sort of aspect of health doesn't feel as vitalized as what you want it to be. And this is saying honor yourself. See and love every part of you, even those parts of you that you are struggling with, which maybe that is your energy level. We also have past lives. It says, release your past life karma. You are an old soul with deep wisdom. Healing your past lives will raise your vibration. So your signs and symbols might specifically be trying to get you to understand some sort of past life patterning. I'm going to use tarot to understand more about that specific part of the message. Deck is so difficult to shuffle. I love it, but it's a hard deck to shuffle. Okay. So I think you had a past life where you also had many talents. You had a lot of creativity. You either doubted yourself in the past life, or you just didn't take advantage of the opportunities available to you. You thought it would be too hard. And so now you have the opportunity to make a different choice. So that's basically what it is. They're saying that when you go ahead and create without this perfectionism holding you back, or fear of it being too hard, when you let go of that and just try to get in the flow of enjoying some sort of expression of your life purpose, which again doesn't have to be perfect. You're planting seeds. Seeds are very small. And so you can plant lots of seeds, and if some of them don't grow, that's fine. You've planted plenty of seeds, and what does grow and continues to bring you enjoyment, you can then continue to choose that path. The Lover's card is about choosing a path as well. You can continue in each moment to choose what path best supports me now and going forward. So you're healing past life karma simply by making the choice in this lifetime to go ahead and take advantage of opportunities and not put so much pressure on yourself. It doesn't have to be like you're carrying a burden. It can just be doing what you love, and then you're expressing yourself, and it's enjoyable, and it's not a burden as you're fearing it to be. And if it is a burden, then that's probably not the right path. That's a clue. If the burden of it is considerably more than the enjoyment of it, that might be a clue that that's not the direction for you to go in, and you need to search and maybe brainstorm for what does feel enjoyable and not super burdensome, right? I mean, life is going to present obstacles. Sometimes obstacles are actually opportunities in disguise. So we're not here to have an easy, perfect life either. We're here to have lots of experiences. You know, if you watched a movie and all that ever happened was happiness, there was no conflict, there was no obstacle to overcome, that would probably be a bit of a boring movie, especially if every movie was like that, right? So we're here to experience a variety of experiences, but that doesn't mean that we're here to suffer through taking on a life path that, you know, is 90% a burden and only maybe 10% enjoyable. That's not what we're here to do. So if that's what it feels like, that's a clue that you're on the wrong path. And it could be that the signs and symbols you are seeing are trying to redirect you towards a more enjoyable path, or motivate you to actually work on that enjoyable path and give you the healing that you need to do that. So from the Fairy Oracle deck, we have Trillium. And then from the Earth Warriors Oracle, we have Lena. What must be shall be. This Trillium card is all about self-love. And I'm going to read this sentence that I feel like really sums up what the message is to you. Allow yourself the nurturing that will help you bloom into the most that you can become. Excuse me. Too often in life, we see all the things that we do not like about ourselves instead of seeing how truly wonderful we are. What a pity. How much further do you think you could go if you were showered only with praise, positive guidance, and support? So there's a constant pouring out of these blessings upon you by the Creator. It is your job to accept it into your heart and life. And it's also your job to love yourself. Okay? And that's where that energy healing comes in. Accept the love that is shining down from you, flowing to you from the Creator, from the divine, but also tap into your own ability to love yourself. And realize that you are enough, and that you're worthy of continuing to blossom into the fullness of who you are. Allow love to, bring you to a greater blossoming. Whoops. All right. And I'm just going to read this first passage here for the card Lena. It says, you have beautiful dreams and inspired, bold ambitions. You are guided to believe that they are a natural expression of your soul, something that is meant to be. So you're having the urges to create or do something because it is a natural expression of your soul. Life will support you in the expression of those dreams and ambitions. Lots of continuity here in this message. Even in the moments where it seems to be struggle rather than support that you are experiencing, you're still being supported even when it doesn't feel like it. The process for transformation into full maturity or blossoming involves learning how to grow through light and through darkness back to the light again. You will always find your way back to the light. Have faith in yourself and what must be. Dedicate yourself to what you love without hesitation. So yes, this has been a very beautiful, I feel like a very cohesive message to you. So I hope if you have been seeing signs and symbols and you're not sure what they mean, I hope that this reading is helpful to you. If you wanted to go further, reading number 1 also touched on some of those aspects of lightness and darkness that were mentioned a little bit here. And it goes a little bit deeper into loving the shadow. So if you feel like that was an especially important aspect of this message for you, then you might want to watch that number 1 reading as well. But I hope that you got something helpful out of this, and I want to thank you so much for watching. I'll see you later. Bye-bye. Hello to everybody who chose reading number 3, which was the Shungite, and it says, get real with your truth. When to use it. When it's time to reclaim your energy from wherever it's been and whomever it's been with. So it's getting back to the truth of yourself and letting go of influences, energetically or otherwise, that other people's energy is having on you and your truth. Okay, so yoga. Your life is strengthened by yoga, stretching, and exercising. So I feel like, part of getting back to the truth of you and drawing back your energy is actually working with your chakras through some sort of mind, body, spirit engagement. And so yoga is a good way to do that. Yoga, meditation. I know people don't like to do these types of things, but like if it's not something that you're used to doing, there's no harm just trying it. A 5-minute meditation or even doing 1 or 2 yoga poses is going to help shift you back to that alignment and also help bring back your full energy and release other people's energy. You can do meditations for that as well, where you sort of visualize breathing in and pulling back your own energy back to yourself. And when you breathe out anyone else's energy that has somehow gotten stuck in your own energy system. We have my own champion, wise one, grow within your current situation. We have joy and delight. Oh, also delight here. Nice. And receive. And we have a couple of other cards we'll look at here in a moment. Yeah, so let's read this. My own champion. I am an unabashed, unconditional, shouting through a megaphone champion of myself and my work. If a useless, up to no good, critical voice in my head tries to discourage, dissuade, or diss me, I politely say, thank you for your input. Then I much less politely stuff that critical voice into a box, light the box on fire, and throw it into a bottomless abyss. I knew that abyss would come in handy one day. So it could be that, like, other people's critical thoughts, or just the fear that someone might criticize you because they have in the past, or because you've experienced it from other people in the past, could be sort of holding you back right now. And even, when other people are taking our energy, a lot of times we hear things like energy vampire. Most of the time people don't even know that they're having this effect on each other. And it can come from ourselves as well. Like if I'm in my head thinking negatively, like, oh, so-and-so won't like this, so-and-so would criticize it, so-and-so would think such and such negative thought about what I'm doing. I am allowing that person's energy to override my own alignment with my true self, right? So it's my job to stand up for myself and say, oh, there are these critical thoughts, either coming from me, coming from other people, or even coming from my imagination of the critical thoughts that people could have. And that's interrupting my flow. It's interrupting my alignment. It's keeping me away from knowing what's true for me. If I'm too worried about what other people think, how can I be in touch with my own truth? So this Wise One card is saying that you have the wisdom about what's true for you. I also feel like it's in terms of signs or symbols that you're receiving, you're understanding the signs and symbols actually very well, like maybe more than you realize. You're getting it. The messages that are coming through, I feel like you do have the wisdom to really understand what's being said. And a big part of it is, when you get back into alignment with your true self, you find the joy of it. Like, it's joyful, it's delightful to know our true self and to enjoy being who we are. Count your blessings and enjoy life. Take pleasure in simple things. Always expect the best. So know that you deserve the best. You deserve to receive the best, which means you deserve happy, positive, supportive thoughts. And you deserve to let go of anything that is critical and, punishing or self-punishing. Anything that pulls you down or takes you away from this joy and delight, you can let go of that, and you can focus on positivity, loving and knowing that you're worthy of all good, and focusing on where you're getting it right, focusing on your strengths. What else do we have here? We have the fire element from my fairy deck, and we have Alakoa, Spirit of the Warrior, from the Earth Warriors Oracle deck. So this card is all about getting in touch with your passion, getting in touch with your motivation, your zeal for your life, your zest for life. Again, just back in touch with that sense of joy and delight. And it's basically saying, like, sometimes, especially when we're going through hard times, there's a lot of difficult stuff in the news, and there are a lot of changes that are keeping us from living our lives the way that we normally do. That can make us feel unmotivated or out of touch with our true joyfulness. This is saying, find something each day or throughout the day, if you can, that would bring you back to that joy. Think about the things that interest you the most and be creative with those thoughts. How can you turn your passion into something that rewards you financially in life? Well, I didn't read that before I read it out loud. So maybe it's about finding something that rewards you financially, but I feel like here it's more like, what can I do today that's really going to help me reward me with joy? That's the reward, is doing something that is inherently enjoyable to you. I wake up with happy anticipation at the beginning of each day. I retire each night into the anticipation of another day. Nothing is too good to be true. My desires in life are directed by divinity. So be it. So set a goal today, a goal for something fun. Don't just put the chores and the tasks on your to-do list. Put fun on your to-do list. Put it throughout your daily to-do list. And then this card, Alakoa, Spirit of the Warrior, this is kind of about when you have that warrior spirit, when there's something that you want to, some sort of positive impact you want to make in the world, but you feel like giving up, you feel hopeless. It says, do not give up. If you feel hopelessness, despair, defeat, or frustration, and if you wonder if it's really worth it, place your mind in your heart, and your heart in awareness of what it is that is inspiring you. Do you feel alone on your quest? Look for the legions of beings in spirit and upon the earth that fight alongside you, fearless and ferocious with love. Be uplifted by your fellow spirit warriors, beloved one. Feel the joy of their love and unity with you. You have access to the divine power that conquers any obstacle, wins every battle, and secures every victory. So maintain this sense of hopefulness that when you allow yourself to receive all the good blessings that are coming to you, that is actually helping to support other people as well. And it's also just a reminder, again, that, we're in this thing called life together, through the good times and the bad. We find the good times together. We take the bad times and we turn them into a shared positive experience. So any way in which you can do that right now, it seems like your signs and symbols are motivating you towards that also. All right, so I hope that was helpful to you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye. All right, number 4 people, welcome to your reading. It says, shine your brightest diamond. When do you use it? When you've just got to keep it icy. When you want to make your intentions perfectly clear. When it's time to beam your own unique light through the darkness for all to see, own it with diamond. I like the part about making your intentions clear. Let's see what comes up in there. Okay, so speaking. So yes, the signs and symbols you're getting are trying to help you understand how to communicate yourself. I feel like, yeah, there's been some sort of heartache or something, or misunderstanding with somebody. It may have even brought up anger. And I feel like you've had time apart, maybe with whoever this is, that there is some sort of misunderstanding that's causing pain and anger, the guidance you're receiving is trying to help you come back into harmony with this person. Because, yeah, some sort of communication with someone or something has caused anger between the two of you. Maybe you're the one who's been angry. Maybe they are. Maybe both. But yeah, you're trying to, this message is helping you to learn how to communicate yourself more effectively to this person so that you can come back to a place of peacefulness. Let me see what this card says. I surrender control and allow every brainchild to be exactly what it is. I don't push them or pull them or force them into well-starched neckties. I let them forge their own path. Turns out, brain children are a lot like real children. You can guide them and nudge them and try to convince them to be sensible, because for God's sake, living out of a van isn't always as romantic as it sounds, but they'll go where they want to. And, smelly van or not, isn't that a beautiful thing? So we have to, I feel like it's trying to say, like, we have to surrender to the fact that some people are going to make life choices that we don't like. And we have to let go of that. Whatever choice they've made, that's the choice that they've made. You didn't like it. Maybe you made a choice that this person didn't like. Maybe it goes both ways. But I feel like your guidance is to try to find acceptance and surrender to the fact that, okay, this is what this person has chosen, or this is what they are choosing. And I need to learn how to be okay with that choice that they made, and continue to make my own choices. That doesn't mean you condone their choice if they're, making like a really horrible choice that hurts themselves or other people. But it's saying, I can't control it. This person has to figure out their own life. I can't figure out everything for them. It's not my place to do that. Just like it's not our angels and guides' place to make all of our choices for us, right? Can you imagine how frustrating it is to our guides sometimes if they felt that way? I don't know, the degree to which their ego allows them to, or if they just naturally are very patient with us. But it seems like it would require patience to be someone's spirit guide, right? And see them continuing to make choices that are not for the best. So maybe this person has made a choice that you feel is not in the best. Like I said, it's caused this broken arrow because you wanted them to go in a certain direction and they didn't. So it's saying right now, you can let this person know, this is the path that I'm taking. Okay? I have clarity on which path is right for me. If you want to be on board with me, then you can. We can be together if this is the direction that you want to go in as well. However, if you want to go in a different direction, then I am going to allow you to make that decision. And I will have to learn to surrender my desire to control your choices or to control the outcome of whether we're on the same path or on different paths. And I'll have to work through any difficult emotions that I have. So that's what your guidance is trying to help you with. Let's see what else we have. We have Fire Dance. That's from my Fairy Oracle deck. And then Mayu. Soma from the Galactic Heart. And that's from the Earth Warriors Oracle. So let's see what Fire Dance is all about. Okay, so I feel like what this is saying, it's a lot about Kundalini energy. And I feel like your connection to this person is one that is making your Kundalini energy rise more than what it has been. So you're awakening each other's Kundalini energy. And it could even be if you are feeling anger or any strong passionate emotions. So passionate emotions could be anger. It could be sexual desire. But when you feel those more fiery, passionate emotions, that in a way is helping you to connect to your Kundalini energy. So this person, even if you don't like everything about what they're choosing and how it might be affecting you, or maybe they're trying to limit your choices, whatever it is, it actually is helping your Kundalini to rise. So the chant at the beginning is, the creative forces flow through me in the perfect way. My health glows with radiance as I am in balance inside and out. Great serpent, awaken in your own divine time, for that is as it should be, so be it. Connect to your fire energy through dance. So you might specifically want to dance and get in touch with your Kundalini energy, or use some other method of raising your Kundalini or working with it. And that could be part of your guidance right now as well from the signs and symbols you're seeing. But I also feel like it's kind of like taking your frustration, anger, and or passion, desire for this person, and kind of funneling that into allowing yourself to really align more powerfully with that Kundalini life force. All right, and this card also talks about kind of spiritual development and how what you're going through in life right now, and this is regarding this specific person who you want to speak your truth to, what you've been going through with them is actually helping to awaken you spiritually. Your soul has been going through a deep spiritual feeding process and is growing rapidly. The evidence of this in the outer world will be a sense of expansion, of opportunity, reach, connections, and new levels of spiritual experience. This oracle foretells the welcoming in of a new phase of life. Newborn energies and fertility, whether biological, creative, or psychological, are being stimulated. The oracle indicates the discovery, development, and expression of talents. An increasingly public profile, which moves you into the spotlight, can help you fulfill your divine life mission, provided that you keep your inner connection to spirit as the highest priority. The oracle speaks of soul healing around matters of trust, spirit, mother, and abundance. So yeah, it's sort of like allowing the Kundalini within you to rise, and just trying to stay connected with the highest good in the process, so that you're not, you don't get steered off course by your ego. So I feel like that is the message I have for you guys who chose reading number 4. I hope that that was helpful, and I want to thank you for watching. I'll see you later. Bye-bye. Hello to everybody who chose reading number 5, which is the Garnet. And it says, get into your depth. When to use it? When you feel like the real you is getting lost in the sometimes shallow, often materialistic priorities of a like-driven culture. So this might have to do with maybe trying to get off of social media more, in order to get in touch with your true self more. Let's see what else comes up. We have school, honoring ideas, animal garden, listening to your wisdom, action, and polarity. And we have a couple more cards we'll look at here in a moment. Okay. All right. Well, there's a lot here about with honoring ideas, animal guardian, trust your instincts, and then listening to wisdom. I didn't mean to turn that upside down. I feel like I really kind of feel like, you know, you might have people outside of you or organizations, maybe your school system, telling you what it's right for you to be learning, or telling you what you should be focusing on and what should be important for you to be keeping in your mind at all times. But I feel like you're being guided to be in touch with, it says depth here, but like, and trusting your own instincts, your own wisdom. Like, you kind of know what it is that you should be researching and learning more about. And you're guided to take action towards that. Let's see what this says. Honoring ideas. When an idea comes to me, I honor it by doing my best to bring it into being. Ideas are like children, and I proudly nurture them, knowing they'll grow and develop and eventually make their own way out into the world without ever really acknowledging how much time, money, or love I shelled out for them. Hey, whose idea was it to have these ideas anyway? Yeah, so I feel like it's like if you feel inspired to go after pursuing some sort of knowledge, because the light bulbs, they symbolize enlightenment. When a light bulb goes off over our head, it's like we understand something more fully. You're called to understand something more, like to research a specific topic more, and seeking out knowledge, creating your own sort of school, I feel like, when it comes to what it is that you know. So your school, if you're still in school, or, if you remember back to the days when you were in school, you were told what was important to learn, right? I think a lot of people are going through it right now, either because they're doing homeschool when they're not used to it. If you're a parent, or responsible for children, maybe you are providing them with some sort of schooling, and maybe it's frustrating to you. But this is part of it, is because we all have to, we don't have to, but like it's in our best interest to be more connected with our own soul and the fullness of our soul when we follow the knowledge that we feel drawn to follow. Okay. We have devotion and blessings of Kumu. No good thing shall be withheld. So the devotion card here is about, recognizing the nice things that other people have done to you, recognizing acts of love and devotion, and returning that with love and devotion and kindness, but also making sure you balance the love and kindness you're giving towards other people with love and kindness with yourself. And I think that's kind of what I come back to with this polarity card as well. Maybe you have to find the balance between, doing certain schoolwork or pursuing certain heightened education on topics that you don't want to. Like maybe there's homework that you have to turn in, for example, that you don't necessarily want to do. I think it's like saying, find a balance with that. Maybe, do your best with that, because, you recognize that the instructors, the teachers who are trying to teach you, that they are devoted to helping you learn. And so you can return that favor by trying your best to learn what's been put in front of you. But if there are other things that seem more exciting, more interesting, that you want to learn about, balance that sort of responsibility you have with what your soul wants to learn about. And this card as well is just about saying that your intuition is naturally drawing you towards wanting to learn and know more about a particular topic or topics, and you're guided towards that for a reason. The universe wants to express its creativity, healing, and brilliance through you. It does not want to be limited to repeating what has already been. Newness needs to burst through you into startling expressions of abundant life. You are guided into unknown territory, guided to go beyond that which you have known yourself and your world to be, so that something original and necessary can be brought to life. The universe knows all that you are in need of so that you can best attain your destiny. And especially in terms of learning or educating yourself, the universe knows what you need to be educated on in order for you to be this expression of healing, brilliance, and creativity. All shall be provided for you. Expand your faith to allow for the greater workings of Great Spirit. So it's also kind of like also saying, trust that your life experience as it continues to unfold is naturally going to present you with educational opportunities that life itself is an educational opportunity with a series of lessons. So heed the call of what those lessons are trying to teach you. What is each moment trying to teach you? What do you want to actually get into a book or research online and know more about? Pay attention to those things right now. Pay attention because you're very connected to it. The guidance is definitely coming in. You are understanding the messages well. You are. And so trust that, trust what you're understanding to be true about the pathways of continued education that you need to be following right now. All right, so thank you so much, everyone who chose reading number 5. I hope that was helpful to you, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye. All right, reading number 6, which was the citrine. It's a little bit of a brownie-looking citrine. Citrines usually have a little bit more yellow or orangey. This is my chunk of citrine. But it says, manifest your masterpiece. Use it when it's time to really get on your grind and start creating the tomorrow of your dreams today. Okay, so manifestation. So the signs and symbols, repeating numbers, dreams, whatever it is you've been having, they're telling you there's something you need to let go of in order to make room for something better to manifest. We have criticism and imperfection. So you're going to have to let go, I think, of criticism and perfectionism. And we'll read more about those in a moment, because you're blocking your own flow of creativity and abundance by feeling like you have to be perfect somehow. So we have Fire Guardian, Ignite Your Passions, Gratitude and Thanks, Adventure, Magic, and then we have a couple more cards here we'll look at in a moment. Yeah, make a wish, believe in miracles, magic surrounds you. So, yeah, you create the magic of your life by letting go of these feelings of unworthiness, or that either it has to be perfect or I'm not going to do it at all. That all or nothing thinking is holding you back. So if you can just gently let go of that, and if you find yourself coming back to those thoughts, just acknowledge them. Oh, I just noticed a perfectionistic thought getting in my way. I acknowledge that thought and I let it go because it's not serving my best interest. It's not serving the highest good because I have a lot of good. I have miracles and magic to create in the world, and I'm not going to let these self-critical, perfectionistic thoughts to get in my way. It's also about allowing yourself to see life as an adventure, okay? Dare to do things differently. And I think in this instance, it's just kind of, dare to do things your way and trust that that's good enough. That the reason you have this passion is because it is inherently something that you're meant to be involved with, So if your own way to do it is a little bit different than how other people have done it, I mean, the best innovations have come through that. The best art comes through people willing to do things differently. When we look at the greatest scientists, innovators, these are people who were able to think differently. The greatest artists approached art differently than what had been done before. That doesn't mean you have to be different from everyone else markedly in order to be doing anything significant. But it's saying if you are different in the way that you do something, that doesn't mean that it's wrong. That means that is your adventure. Be grateful for the unique way that you write poems or make music, or just the unique way that you think, the unique way that your mind works, or the solutions that you can come up with that are different from other people's solutions. Be loyal to yourself enough to extend kindness to yourself and recognize how much magic that you really do have in order to create a beautiful, blessed world. And of course, gratitude is always one of the best methods of manifestation as well. So I feel like your signs and symbols are also trying just to draw you back to some aspect of life that you need to be more grateful for, or that you would benefit from getting more in touch with that feeling of gratitude about. We also have Beloved from the Fairy Oracle and Kanyini. In each other we find ourselves from the Earth Warriors deck. All right, and I think I'm going to read this one straight from the book because it seems like it resonates so strongly and probably expresses the message here for you better than what I have been. Who do the angels and elementals adore? Who do they serve joyously and tirelessly? You. They know of the great work that you are here to do on earth, and they do their very best to aid you. They watch out for you. They whisper answers in your ears. They help heal you when you are ill and comfort you when you are sad. Because of them, you are never alone. They are always at your beckoning. Family members or friends who have passed on help in these capacities too. If you become quiet, they will give you a sign. It could be a feeling in the forehead, a gentle wisp through your hair, a sense of a hand on your shoulder. You can always call them, and they will come to you. This card reminds you that your helping beings are thinking of you. It can also be telling you that you have an admirer on the earth plane too. If you do not know who it is, ask the angels and elementals to tell you. Remember that you are beloved. Always be yourself and know that that is good enough. Others will love you for who you are, not for who you might think you should be. Recognize your incredible uniqueness in this world. And we were just talking about that uniqueness, that's something to be honored, that you may not always do things in exactly the way that other people do. And that's good. There is no other like you. There is no other person who can fulfill your destiny on earth. Adore yourself. So you might be critical. Well, I'm not doing it how so-and-so does. I'm not achieving the life that so-and-so has achieved. But that's beautiful. Like that's exactly as it is meant to be. You are this unique person with this unique experience and a unique way of approaching life for a reason. Adore yourself. I rejoice in my divine nature. I am unique unto myself. I have come to earth to fulfill a destiny that no one else can fulfill, to do a job that no one else can do. I love myself completely on all levels. So be it. Ring a bell for an angel today. I don't have any bells, or I would ring one right now. All right, let's see what this Kanyini message is about. All right, well, you can't make this up. We were just talking about there's a spiritual purpose that only you can fulfill. And when I turn to the page for this, guess what it says? Very first sentence. There is a spiritual purpose that only you can fulfill in your unique way. As you move forward on your journey, you create space for others to move along behind you. And as the ones ahead of you move forward, so too does room open up for your expansion. Upon this earth, we are all building the sacred temple, each fulfilling our tasks as we assist and support each other in our collective divine mission. The highest good of all is the highest good for each of us. How can you help with your heart most actively engaged? What can you offer which inspires and energizes you so much that others are uplifted in your presence? How can you receive from others joyfully, bringing them pleasure? Engage in giving and receiving deeply and with devotion. Your wisdom and openness to life generates healing for our earth. Nice. And this also talks about like getting more in touch with a feeling of belonging and healing anything that makes us feel that we don't belong. Yeah, so you do belong. You have a place here. You are the perfect puzzle piece to fulfill this wholeness that we're all here in our own unique ways to fulfill. So you're needed. You belong. And your differences are what makes you belong. All right, so I hope that was a helpful message for you guys who chose reading number 6. I want to thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.